welcome to another edition of Addicted to Pens. I'm your host Tim. Today we'll be having a look at the Moonman M2 and a clone of the pen. Once again, the term clone can be subjective, but in this case I have no reservations about using the clone word. When two pens are made almost identically to each other, I really can't sugarcoat that one maker is drawing inspiration from another. In fact, the eBay listing where I purchased these pens, they were even listed as Moonman M2s. Iffy at best, and an attempt to rip people off by misrepresenting the product in all likelihood. Just to clarify, these pens were purchased with my own money and are not part of any endorsement or promotion. I just like collecting pens. Anyhow, let's get into the details and see what's good about the Moonman M2 and the clones, if they're worthy of the title. The Moonman M2 was the first dedicated eyedropper fill pen I purchased. For the uninitiated, eyedropper pens do not use cartridges or converters, and instead the body of the pen is loaded with ink. Whereas a piston or vacuum fill pen will draw ink into the body of the pen with its own mechanism, eyedropper fills are done by using a pipette or syringe to draw out the ink and then deposit it into the pen. The grip section is then reattached and the ink is prevented from leaking from the body by either a combination of good screw threads, O-rings or silicone grease. Why have eyedropper fills then? Well, the method of loading a pen gives a much bigger ink capacity. A standard converter or cartridge will hold less than a milliliter of ink. Eyedropper fills will typically hold 3 milliliters of ink. So as you can imagine, it's a lot more writing. I intend to do more videos on the eyedropper system, so advantages and disadvantages in another video, so please stay tuned for that. So, what is it I love about the Moonman M2? Obviously, ink capacity. It feels like it could write forever. An exaggeration maybe, but I get bored of writing with the pen before I empty it. It's a really solid pen too. They've designed the pen to be robust, and that's a good thing because a leaky eyedropper is going to give you a really bad day. The nib and writing experience are really good. The cap posts well, which is a surprise on a body of that type. The most surprising thing is the pen writes first time every time. I've gone through times when I've not used a pen for a couple of months, went back to expecting to have to work it a little to get it writing again, and it wrote as smoothly as it did before I put it away. I've not been able to say that for any of my other fountain pens, even the ones that boast about not drying up. Downsides? The absence of any kind of clip does cause a couple of issues. Obviously it won't clip to a pocket, but that's something I can live with. However, because of the shape of the body, it can easily roll away when you put it down. And I do find I have to pay attention when putting the pen down. Am I being picky? Possibly. Even so, it's an eyedropper pen I'd recommend, and I'm very happy to have one. The eBay listing said these were Moonman M2s, and as you can imagine, when I finally got my hands on them after what felt like an eternity thanks to shipping from China, they were very much not the genuine article. The pens arrived with HYL branding, so at least the makers were not trying to deceive me like the original eBay listing did. When I had a detailed look at the pens, there was a couple of differences in the basic styling, such as the tail end of the body. I get the feeling these choices were made for no other reason than to use less material in the construction of the pen and reduce costs. The other issue when the pens arrived that they were full of debris and turnings from the machining of the pens. These are the only pens I've ever had where there was actually debris from the manufacturing process left in the pens to clean out. Anyhow, I loaded them up and gave them a good workout. Compared to the M2, the build's okay, although the debris from the manufacturer is a really poor sign for the clones. The plastic's nowhere near as good or as solid feeling as the M2. It doesn't feel as strong and feels more brittle, to be honest. Although I gave them a wiggle without issue, I don't feel I can trust them like I can the genuine article. Another irritation is that the clones post like garbage. You think you have a cap secured, and then it's wiggling and wriggling around because something nudged it. As someone who likes to post their pen so I don't lose the cap, this is poor. The Moonman M2 is a fantastic pen, and one I am very happy to have in my collection. The clones are just not the same quality, and it's a good job they were really cheap, because compared to a genuine M2, they just don't have the same levels of quality or refinement. One final point. The glass pipette supplied with the M2 is okay. The plastic one supplied with the clones were awful. But to make life easier for yourself, get some ink syringes, something around 2 to 5 millimeters to make reloading the pens much easier. The syringes are less likely to drip, are easy to clean, and you can more precisely load up an appropriate amount of ink for your pen. Whatever you do, get the ones with blunted needles. We don't want anyone getting hurt doing something as mundane as reloading a pen. And that concludes the video. If you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks for watching and have a great day. And remember, live, laugh, write.